Hello, everyone. This is Bill Apter, and welcome to a very special OneWrestling.com Apter Chat. And we go all the way across the ocean to one of my favorite people in the whole world and a heralded referee all over the world. And we're talking about the striped man, Steve Lynskey. Welcome back.
Oh, Bill, it's been such a long time since we've spoke together on OneWrestling.com. I'm so happy to be back.
Well,
Nice.
I'm glad you're back, and I want to thank you again publicly for this past year. One of the greatest trips I've ever had was when you booked me at Showmasters Comic Con in Brighton, England, and I met so many great fans came to say hello and see me, and I just want to thank you publicly for that booking.
No, that was my pleasure, Bill. It was great. It was a great weekend.
Yeah,
Really
it
was.
was. It was. So now the big news coming out of the United Kingdom, and it was, we ran several stories on One Wrestling from the UK Sun and some other people, are that on New Year's Eve, ITV will be bringing back the World of Sport. Now, when was this taped?
This was taped in Manchester in November.
In November. Now, my correspondent, Gulam, who I think you also met for the first time when we
Oh,
were in
well,
Brighton, he was there and he covered the show, but I said no spoilers. We're going to wait until everybody sees it. So, for the people who don't know what World of Sport was in its heyday, could you give us a little primer about it?
sure. World of Sport was a program on ITV which covered a multitude of sports. So you had horse racing, football,
Which is soccer, yeah.
which, yeah, wrestling, of course, which was shown at 4 p.m. on Saturday afternoons,
Prime time.
yeah, and it was tagged. Everything stopped at 4 p.m. Everything stopped at 4 o'clock. Everywhere, your shops were closed on a Saturday afternoon. People left whatever they were doing. They went home and they watched World of Sport religiously at 4 p.m. on a Saturday afternoon for well over 30 odd years. Until it stopped in the 80s, which was such a shame.
And
Uh,
who were some of the great stars? I mean, I remember Giant Haystack, Jackie. Was it Jackie Paulo part of that group as well?
yeah, Carlo, Mick McManus, Fit Finley, Marty
Fit
Jones.
Finley Sr.
Yeah, Fit Finley. Well, Fit Finley Senior. Then you got Dave Fit Finley,
Yes.
who of course now is a producer in America. You also had Billy Two Rivers. Yeah,
Ricky Starr, one of the
Ricky Starr,
Americans who went over there and became a major superstar.
Adrian Street, who now lives in America and has done quite a lot in America.
Yes,
So, the list is endless, Bill. Kendo Nagasaki,
sure.
yeah, Steve Logan, Mick McManus, the Royal Brothers,
Wait a minute. What was Kendo's manager's name again?
Gorgeous George
Right.
Gillette.
Yes, I remember him now. So now, in the 80s, the plug was pulled on it. And for years, there have been terrific people all around, and no one more out front than Alex Shane, who has been trying to get the British wrestling scene back into the mainstream of TV, and yourself as well.
Yeah, Alex, over the years, well, since 1999, I remember we did a TV show in 1999 on live TV called UWA Wrestling Rampage. So we did that. Then, of course, there's been other. FWA came along.
I was at many
Um,
of those shows.
yes, that's where we first met, was
It
FWA.
is. It is.
So yeah, FWA, live TV, UWA Wrestling Rampage. and there's been a lot that's coming along. There are a lot of companies that are doing television for various outlets now. You have WAW, you have What Culture Pro Wrestling now, which again I work for What Culture. So yes.
Yeah.
So
By the way, I understand. I got one of my spies mentioned that you will be at the What Culture show in Orlando over WrestleMania weekend.
oh
But
yes.
we'll talk about that a few weeks before that. So now, how did this whole resurgence come? Who was involved in getting this deal worked out with ITV and putting this whole thing together?
ITV approached quite a few wrestlers, referees, myself included, and we were just sent a message. Could we get in touch? Were we interested in working on a pilot show for ITV? So we went through chatting with producers and researchers. We went to Manchester for meetings, and then it came about that they wanted to do this 2-hour aired pilot show for ITV1, and it was like,
To feel out if there was still interest with the fans.
and there is like
Oh, I
they
know.
they put out that if people wanted tickets, because it was being taped at a studios up in Manchester, so they put that out there, and over 80,000 people applied for those tickets, Bill.
Wow. Wow.
Over 80,000 people applied for those
Wow.
tickets. And
And how many people did the arena seat?
it's
Approximate.
600 maybe.
Okay.
A
So
low,
with 80,000 requested.
yeah. And of course, they also said that there may be tickets available if you come and lined up. And there was like 2,000 people queued up wanting to get into the show. There was a lot of people turned away
Wow.
who wanted to come and watch the taping of the show. And it was really good. The production values, obviously, it's a major television company.
Now, where can I'd like to do a little preview of some of the matches there, but where can fans all over the world see this and when?
Right. Here's the thing. It's been aired New Year's Eve, 5 p.m. on ITV1.
That's New Year's Eve UK time?
Yeah, UK time, 5 p.m. till 7 p.m. Now, I know I had a few people from Australia and New Zealand message me and say, how can we watch this? How can we watch this? And I said, ITV have an app.
Yeah, I want to see it too.
Yeah. Well, I said that to them. I said, well, ITV have an app. You know, maybe you can watch it on that. And they said it doesn't work where they are. It doesn't work. You can't see the UK thing. So the only thing I can say is once it's aired, hopefully it'll be out there, maybe on ITV, because they have a YouTube channel as well.
Oh, see, that would be great. So fans here in the United States can
Hope,
see it as well.
I sincerely hope so, because, you know, I mean, there's potential of 6 million viewers watching this tomorrow night, New Year's Eve.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So ITV is a really, 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 really big, you know, because it's a free view channel.
So what? I know you refereed several of the matches. What are some of the matches that are included in this 2-hour special?
Well, without delving too much into it, because obviously we don't want to do spoilers. And
No
things like.
spoilers. But can you? Were there matches advertised that you could tell us about?
They're not advertised as such.
Well, how about giving us some of the names that will
I'll give
be appearing on the show?
So you have Dave Mastiff, you have Grado, you have Rampage Brown, you have the Coffey Brothers, which is Mark and Joe Coffey,
Okay.
Scotland. You have Viper and Alexis Rose. Now here's a scoop, really, Bill, because women's wrestling back in the day wasn't shown on World of Sport, so this is the first time. So this is the first time that a women's match is going to be on the show.
And who are the ladies?
The ladies are Viper and Alexis Rose.
Okay, all right.
Have El Ligero on there. You have Liverpool's number one, Zach Gibson. You've got Johnny Moss. Yeah, there's guys that you will know of, and see them.
Now, your role, obviously, you're a referee.
Yeah.
How is Alex Shane involved? Because I saw him in a lot of the photos.
Yeah, Alex is a commentator along with good old JR, Jim
Now,
Ross.
that's the next thing I wanted to ask you, and this is because, he's the best, period, the end, we know that. But how did he wind up as an American broadcaster doing this rather than them having another British broadcaster along with Alex? Was it for name value?
Again, as I say, we were all approached. The wrestlers were approached. Jim was also approached to see if there was interest of him coming over and doing commentary. Obviously,
he's a billboard name.
Yeah, definitely. And it was, I hope I'm right in saying this, but it was Jim that said about Alex Shane doing commentary. I think ITV had spoken to Alex regarding other things, but it's Jim Ross that said, because he'd just done WCPW.
Yeah.
He'd done commentary, so it was Jim, it was Alex, and it was Jim Cornette. So the three of them doing commentary for WCPW.
Yes, I remember that now.
And Jim Ross and Alex gelled really well. So that was the commentary team.
That's great. Well, I want to thank you so much for this insight, and I'm hoping that in 2017 that World of Sport Wrestling, is that the name of the company actually? Is it being called World of Sport Wrestling?
They're calling it the World of Sport Wrestling.
Yeah, I hope that we start seeing a regular feed, even if it's once a month or every 2 or 3 months, but it starts getting back into the free mainstream TV there in the United Kingdom.
That would be awesome. I mean, that's what I hope. Everybody worked so hard. In fact, wrestling in the UK is everybody's working so hard.
They always have. From the first time I went there, back when I was with Total Wrestling, until this past year when you brought me in for that convention, everybody works hard. So that's great. Sir Lynskey, we've got to go. We will talk to you again as soon as there's breaking news out of the United Kingdom, and hopefully it's about the success of this promotion.
Thanks, Bill. It's been a pleasure as always.
And Sir Lynskey, can I ask you a question? Because I ask a lot of people in the United States this question, and I get the same answer. But is wrestling fixed?
I didn't know it was broken, Bill.
See you at the match.